My name's David Norris. We've been in business since 1982. Started with 51-gallon monkey grass and went through basically everything till now. And the plants we grow mostly now are dwarf sasanquas, upright sasanquas, camellias, hollies, and live oaks. And the nursery business has its ups and downs. It all deals with the economy. A nursery plant is like going to a restaurant and everybody orders the main course, but very few people get dessert. And this is dessert. And so it's only discretionary income people spend on this. And if you look back here, this is just a small section of the nursery. And it's got white shishis, silver dollars, quintessence. This is the patch of quintessence that I have now. 2 rows is all I have. Snow on the mountain. More white shishis and regular shishis. Looking at the trailer here, we set this up just as an example. This is pink shishis, a liner, 2 years old. Goes to a 1 gallon, add another year, that's 3 years. Goes to a 3 gallon, add 2 more years, that's 5 years. Goes to a 7 gallon, 7 years old. Snow on the mountain, a little more upright, not quite as dwarf. 1 year, 3 years, 5 to 6 years. Silver dollar, one of our very best sellers now. A liner, 2 years old. A 1 gallon, 2 years old. To a 3 gallon, it's 5 years old. To a 7 gallon, we're sold out of them. This is one we had left, 6 to 7 years old. It's a dwarf white, very same growth habit as a pink shishi. Dwarf means it grows slow. If a dwarf lived 100 years, it would be 20 foot tall.
Okay.
It wouldn't be 100 foot tall like a pine tree, but it would probably get to 20 foot tall. So a Reverend Ida that came here in 1865, the name was changed to a hot flash so they could patent it where we couldn't grow it. And then they patented it again with a new name. I'm not sure what it is, but they had to take all that off because it was a Reverend Ida in 1865. Liner, 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 7 gallons. I didn't put one out here. This is the new Bobby Green white shishi, invented by Bobby Green, Green's Nursery. It's a patented plant. We contract grow those for Windmill. A 1 gallon, 2 years old. A 2 gallon, it's probably close to 4 now. And a 7 gallon is 5 years old. And then over to this plant, a very special plant. It's a quintessent sasanqua, highly fragrant. It was Miss Margie Jenkins' favorite sasanqua. I understand you started these from one single plant, right?
I got the mama plants from New Zealand.
New Zealand. And these are being sold to pay for a scholarship in the name of Miss Margie Jenkins. And it sponsors an agricultural student. And that's what Miss Margie wanted. That's what Miss Margie's getting. Highly fragrant, blooms later than most. True dwarf, and originated with Miss Margie Jenkins. Oh yeah, it's beautiful, and it's hardy, and it was her favorite sasanqua, and that's why I like it. The hardest thing about growing a sasanqua is making a liner. That's the hardest part. You're starting with a stick with no roots on it, and you have to turn that into a bush. And it takes a year to get roots on it, 6 months to a year. 2 years to have something to plant into a pot, and then another year, years and years. So if you want to know, that's the hardest part, making this get roots on it and turning it into a plant. Some of them make it, some of them don't. This right here is a prime example of it made it real good. This right here, Miss Margie Jenkins' plant's the quintessent. Look at that. They made it wonderful.
Yeah.
No dead ones. This over here, Reverend Ida Hot Flash, about a 50% success rate.
Yeah.
So different ones. Snow on the Mountain is the hardest one out of all of them. The most important thing on them is to put them in a raised bed, pick out the right one for the sun conditions that you're going to be in, and to water them in the beginning and then back off and don't overwater them. The biggest problem is in a modern yard with an irrigation system, it comes on every day, every other day. the homeowner just watches it run, and the whole time it's killing the plants because it's watering too much. So they need to take and actually stick their finger in the dirt every now and then and see if it's wet. If it's dry, the water needs to come on after the plant's established. Once a shishi is established in a garden, it really needs no water unless you're in a drought. Acid loving meaning about 5 to 7 pH. So you don't want to plant them in a pH level of 9. And the lower the pH, the darker the flower will be. Of course, on white, it won't get any darker. The most popular color is white. For some reason, I don't know, everybody wants white nowadays. They want white azaleas, they want white camellias, they want white sasanquas. So snow on the mountain if you got room for it, but it gets 4 to 5 foot. Our biggest seller is silver dollar because it grows like a shishi, maximum 3 foot tall. And then the next biggest seller, if we can ever get enough of them, is going to be the white shishi.